Hey, beautiful people. Sorry for the hold up, y'all. I hope that you guys are good. It's so good. It's so good, guys. That's cool, Mina. I hope you guys are having a good Friday day, night, clearly, for Mina. Maybe even Thursday. I'm not sure what the situation is, Mina, but yeah, hi guys. Let's get this show on the road, right? Let's do the usual stuff, get that done, and we'll go and sort of chop it up, shall we?
Staring at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before.
Right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get it started. Y'all had me cracking up. Y'all said the free list is closed before the live even begun. Yes, okay. I love to read. But as you guys can imagine, it's actually like a lot when you're doing sort of like back to back to back to back. So energetically, after about 10, I find that my channels they start to get a little bit weary. So, and depending on how much or how big or how deep we have to go, it's all so Aries has always got like the good little chats going in the chat. I would say my favorite ice cream would be like ice cream that I had back home. That was like grape nut ice cream. I haven't really like found anything here that I really actually like properly like that. But I don't know. Maybe I'd say pralines and cream actually. Haagen-Dazs, pralines and cream. Love that one. All right, Gypsy. Gypsy's got her question out there already. That's what we love to see. You guys are on point. I thought about strawberry ice cream. I wasn't sure if I like it just on its own, though. I think that was it. I was trying to like, I'd probably like it with something else added on the side to just kind of like give it some flavor, if you will. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting my stuff all the way situated, guys. Okay, here we are. That's not happening. We'll go to what's already here. There, y'all. I hate you on that. Vanilla is a little bit basic. It's alright, but as far as like flavor, it can be a little bit lacking. Right. Sorry, I'm like getting the setup nice and right, guys. So I have enough space to be able to unpack these stuff. Okay, we're diving straight into romance. So we're going to go into Gypsy's question. How does Elle feel towards Gypsy? Oh, let me have a look. Okay. They're kind of at a place where I guess they're open with caution. And I have to say with caution to heart conversations to be able to kind of like figure out how to possibly make things work a little bit better. It seems like things have been in a place of like feeling a little bit, I want to say almost hopeless, as far as like how to navigate through some of the cold interaction. I think that they want to come forward to be able to have heart-to-heart conversations. They're a little bit hesitant to be able to have these conversations as well. I don't know if they are completely emotionally ready to actually like take on responsibility for, I guess, some of the troubles that you guys have in terms of your dynamics. So this is your cards here, right? Oh, sorry. There we go. Right? That's your card there. So they have like this intent to be able to kind of like give things a chance to be able to sort of grow. But at the same time, I feel like there is hesitancy, just because it feels like there's a lot to sort of take on, with the situation. Their situation's complicated. Who's a complicated party in the situation? Help me understand that so I can give it some context for you. I'm going to try and open my water again. Send me some strength, guys. Oh, let me do this actually. There we go. Y'all sent me some smarts instead. That's what's up. Love that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think with his situation being complicated, I think him being able to sort of come forward and have any sort of conversation would be a little bit premature at this stage. It still feels like he's not necessarily like ready to take responsibility fully, but he does want to have heart-to-heart conversations to be able to sort of like talk about maintaining the connection, even though things are hella complicated by the looks of it. Yeah. I think that he wants to talk about working on, I guess, building something or working on the relationship. But I don't think it's like really working. And what I mean by that is like it's kind of like this underhanded manipulation towards a situation, like not actually like addressing the problem. It's just kind of like working around the problem, which is why it can be a little bit manipulative for you because that draws your time away. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say wasted time because you get to learn, but it is wasted in the sense that it doesn't cultivate anything that's like significantly long term. So I'd say they're being a little bit emotionally underhanded with the situation. They want to give it a chance, but it's almost like sabotaging it before it really actually develops into anything significant because they're not really willing to kind of like deal with the situation that's making things so complicated for you guys. But they do want to still just talk about continuing things, I guess, discreetly, potentially discreetly. So yeah, I think the choice is yours, you know. I get the sense that if they can get away with keeping things complicated, they will. Okay. So it's just something to be mindful of because they don't have any intentions of taking responsibility at the minute. I love how you guys are just like bam, bam, bam on point. This is awesome. Thank you guys. I hope that was useful for you, Gypsy. Let us know if there's any sort of like attempt to have, you know, those heart-to-heart conversations and how things thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. I love the love in the chat, guys. Right, let's go and see. Virgo. Ashan. Okay. Ooh. Let's dive into it, guys. Oh, thank you, guys. Look at that. Okay. Shetty, are you here? Oh, you guys are dealing with the same energy, Gypsy and Mina. Dealing with Kings of Cups energy in reverse. With both of the dynamics that you guys are navigating through. Interesting. Okay, awesome. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Well, good, Mina. Okay. 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 Sorry, I'm like checking it all out to see what's going on for our girl Mina. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, we're just looking at thoughts at the minute, right? The thoughts, like, so there's a little bit of a battle that's going on here. So I'm glad that we're going to sort of like unpack it as well as like the feelings aspect of it as well, because it seems like head and heart are sort of, they're having a little bit of a conflicting experience going on at the minute. So the thoughts on the situation is to kind of, you know, be expressive, kind of like express a little bit of a romantic gesture, and kind of continue in the way that things somewhat had been before, where it was friends with the curiosity of maybe more than just friends type thing. But it seems like in navigating through the breakup of this situation, their thoughts on the now situation, as far as like where you guys are with everything, their thoughts is that things feel emotionally unrested. So they're kind of like proceeding with caution, I guess is the best way that I can put it. What are their feelings on the situation now, guys? What's Ashan's feelings towards Mina? Okay. That has a little bit more context to it, because there's a few more cards here. Okay. Hold on. Hold that thought, Mina. Hold that thought. So we've got thoughts over here. Feelings. Okay. Okay. So what I'm seeing with the situation, as far as noticing, yes, there was like a notice, I guess, that there wasn't necessarily like access directly to you per se. I think that that's kind of it's like one of those things like when you almost can't have something, you want it even more type thing. So I think that that's kind of sparked a level of curiosity, and I think that that's why the thoughts are there about expressing the love, and wanting to be able to sort of like communicate that, and maybe revert back to where things are, is kind of like almost expressing apologies for the previous pause. But the feelings seem different. The feelings on the situation feels more so like there's a bit of mental clarity. There's a bit of mental clarity about potentially how this situation may actually be working, as far as like the dynamics now, how the situation may actually be working towards rebuilding, I don't want to say like a family dynamic or a family situation, but it feels like that. It feels like that's where the heart is kind of like focusing. So the head wants to sort of come back over into the space and kind of pick up, because I guess there's kind of like a yearning for that, and that repetition of behavior is still, I guess, that's back there subconsciously. But in the heart situation, there's almost a case of like releasing some internal heartbreak, or kind of like pouring out some of the pain, and getting some clarity as well about maybe even sitting with oneself and thinking like, why does it feel this way? I didn't necessarily realize that I'd miss her this much. I didn't really kind of evaluate things. Maybe I was a little bit quick with the decisions, and it's kind of a case of maybe reevaluating how one handled the situation. Um, but it feels like there's something else, basically. There's something else on the other side of this that's also almost being, I don't want to say blessed, but that's probably the best way that I can put it. Somebody else's prayers basically are being answered by you guys being in this abstract space where it's like nothing's really grounding, but there's kind of like this energetic connection. Yeah, God's answering someone else's prayers at the minute. So I guess it's more a case of the pendulum kind of swinging back. I think that what I'm seeing with their situation is that things are hella complicated. Yeah, more so than they actually sort of let on as well. And I want to put that across. Uh, oh, 22. Do you know what? We'll let you have it. We'll let you have it. You'll be the last. No, I got what you meant. I got what you meant. Mercury's in retrograde. It's cool. I got what you meant though. That's fine. You can be added to the list. The list is actually moving in a good flow tonight, so that's cool. Yeah, so what I'm seeing with the situation, Nina, yeah, I think that they are feeling like with all of these gestures as well, like with you kind of them not having contact and not having access to you, it's almost feeling like maybe they were somewhat justified in making the impulsive decision to kind of like abruptly move away from the situation. I think that this is, and it's so funny because this is all just miscommunication at the end of the day. All of it just looks like a whole bunch of miscommunication and assumptive narration. So it just feels like people have made assumptions and acted based on the assumptions, and there isn't really the proper conversations to understand maybe what's being seen and observed, and the story is being told in a way that isn't necessarily the entire truth. It's more opinion based. A lot of it is more well, this must be and that must be, and that kind of construct. But I think right now, as far as the situation, it feels like they're kind of just taking things lightly and doing things in moderation. I think you guys' actions towards each other are actually sending mixed signals, because it's not aligned necessarily with what either of you guys really want per se. But it just so happens to be that there isn't like the proper conversations to be able to clarify things. So yeah. Let's see outcome. How do we? Okay. What's going to be happening then? Oh, we got another deck. Okay. Yeah. Hold on. They're showing me something like within the next few weeks. So I want to sort of see what's going on in the next few weeks, because that's how I was closing out. So let's see. Hey, y'all. Aquarius baddie, the list is closed. We did just have like, so usually there's like, well, now that that's the thing, there's like this one space. That's a potential when the list gets closed, with 10 being the capacity. Okay, so what do you see happening in the next few weeks with the dynamics of the situation? Okay, thank you. Okay. 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 So I think over the course of the next few weeks, the situation that you guys are kind of like both navigating through right now, I think that there's definitely going to be a lot of reevaluating where you guys can both take accountability for, I guess, the way that things kind of like prematurely and immaturely sort of played out. Yeah. I think like synchronistically, things are going to start to reveal themselves to you guys, where you'll be able to see a little bit more about where you need to look at, where you may be sending mixed signals, and also where you can see that they're clearly saying something different to what they're saying. How can I put it? So energetically, like you can sense that they're saying something different to what their actions are almost saying. And I think that over the course of the next few weeks, I want to say maybe 6 to 7 weeks per se, there's this situation kind of like plays out, because there's a whole bunch of like lack of accountability that is having to come to surface to sort of like reveal certain things to both of you guys. Yeah. There's still a lot more to sort of dissect with this, pretty much. So yeah, I think that they're still pretty confused about how they feel, to be honest. Beautiful, by the looks of it. Their thoughts are one way, feelings are another way. They're not necessarily all the way clear, I don't think. you really are either per se. There's still a little bit of there's still a little bit of transparent conversation that needs to be had. But I think right now you guys are exactly where you need to be with the situation, because it's so confusing and cloudy anyways. Like, this isn't going to manifest anything. It's just going to continue to stagnate and give like the rippling illusion that things are manifesting. So yeah. Oh dang, that's a tongueful. Okay. What part? Shetty's question. Sorry, I'm reading the question, guys. I'm like out here looking at it, like I'm saying it out loud. I'm sorry, I was reading it in my head. My bad, y'all. How's the relationship between Jamshir and Shamna? He hid the fact that he was married to her for 3 years and dated me for 1 year. Betrayed me big time. Facts. Just want to know if he loves her, then why did he cheat on her and had a relationship with me? At the end, said that he loves us both. Give you the best clarity. Thank you. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm like giving clarity, because I feel like if a person's confused, their channels are usually very confusing. So I just try my best to like let y'all know what I see as best as I can while I swim out there, I guess. But I'm glad that you sort of like got some clarity from the situation. But things are gonna, move. It's gonna move. And there's a few in there. Yeah. Do you know what? Let's go and have a look and see. There is, Gypsy. There's a lot in there. I'm trying to think to myself, like, where do I go with this question? I'm trying to think, like, where do I go with the questioning? Yeah, okay. So let me go back to the question. It feels like a whole assignment. I want to like make sure that I get like, I want to construct the right questioning. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave it with the first question, which is how's the relationship between Jamshir and Shamna? I think the additionals is like statement pieces, like the facts that he had that relationship going for a while before he kind of started to date Shetty. And all the other stuff, I guess, may come through that first question, because sometimes we'll kind of get a little bit of insight. Okay. So how's the relationship between Jamshid and Shamna? Let's see. How's the relationship between Jamshid and Shamna? Oh, wow. Okay. It's the whole story. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So it seems like with the interesting. So I think, and I told you that that question was gonna like unpack everything else for us to like really get the tea, and it did. So that's good. What I'm seeing with the situation is that to answer the other part of the question, which was like, what's the dynamics practically in terms of the relationship that would kind of like make Jamshir want to sort of, I guess, look elsewhere. Control factors. I think from what I can see on the cards, they both have their own control issues. I think. I think they both have their own control issues, but in different areas. And I think that he wasn't meshing well with her control, as far as like how she may let other people get in her ear about certain things. So it may not even like be her real opinion type thing. And I think that that was something. Oh, this is interesting. So it was like she has a tendency to be easily influenced, I guess, or easily manipulated, let's say. The mind is very there isn't really a strong sense of identity, if you will, right? And that was actually something that he fed on in getting into the relationship with her, because he manipulated his way into that situation. Even this is just his natural characteristics and personality type, right? So as far as him exhibiting that manipulative behavior with Shetty, that was just bog standard. This is who he is. That's just how he engages with the world when it comes to romance. Like manipulation's always been a tactic. Also, temptation has also been a factor in relationships for Jamshir, period. Looking at the dynamics of the situation, he hasn't necessarily like been strong in some of those moments of temptation, clearly, but it's always kind of like because of this tendency to stray, it's always actually caused a little bit of disturbance for their relationship, where there's constantly chaos, and the confusion is like bringing up these waves of separation that they continue to sort of like navigate. I think at this point, however, I think at this point, from what I can see, like they're navigating through the situation, like I guess seemingly emotionally sort of grounded and balanced and in control of the situation. But it seems like really moving forward, they both have plans. So moving forward, Jamshir is open to the possibility of being tempted again. There'll be other Shetties. I don't think that this relationship dynamic, I guess, yeah, there's commitment issues there, I guess, on his part. And I think low key, Shamna is kind of like, well, if he doesn't get better at doing this, you know, I'm not really with it. But reality, I don't know how much she'll back that talk if the situation proves itself to be exactly that, right? And what I'm seeing is that like overall there isn't necessarily like a good work and personal life balance at the minute as well. Like these are some of the factors for Shamna that's like causing her to maybe ponder separation, where there it doesn't feel like she's getting the kind of attention that she wants with the situation anyways. So yeah, I think that from what I can see on the cards, Shetty got brought into the mix of what is just their natural pattern. Like I do believe that there was a point where, I guess they brought different things to the table. I think that there's an anchor to Shamna because she puts up with a lot of the behavior. She says she doesn't, but eventually she sort of gives in, and he's kind of like banking on that type thing. So yeah, I think that they're both kind of like holding on, but technically low-key plotting on each other. They're both plotting a lucky escape, is the best way that I can put it, because she says she's not really willing to put up with much more of like the confusion and the back and the forth and the disrespect, because it's like it's creating all of these other areas of doubt on the situation. But I feel like Loki, they're both patiently just planning their escape. I think they're setting each other up and they don't even realize it subconsciously, because I think by her planning or kind of like pretty much just waiting for him to kind of like do something so that she can leave again. But his plan is to be able to manipulate her and bring her back into the fold anyways. So they'll just keep looping on this same sort of like pattern that they tend to be dancing in anyways, where neither of them are actually like completely happy with the dynamics that they're navigating through, but it's familiar, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what's going on with that situation pretty much. I hope that was useful for you though. I hope that was useful. I feel like I tried my best to be able to answer from like what you put out there. So it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. All good, Mina. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let Shetty, let Shetty know that unfortunately sometimes things are just complicated. People are complicated. Sometimes even for themselves, they're complicated. I do have Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram for a while because I used to like that used to be my social media app, really. But I'm kind of, I guess, withdrawn. I haven't posted in months. I don't know, maybe even a year. Maybe. And that's embarrassing, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it bit by bit. I'm getting consistent over here so that I can, build some momentum. And then I can maybe draw some of that consistency from over here and place it into like my IG self. Because, yeah, I was supposed to sort of like speak on situations of like competition, but I'm triggered by Instagram because of a situation with friendships and business. Yeah. So I'm working on it. Okay. There's trauma attached. Smaradina. Definitely introvert. Definitely. I mean, I have to like let myself know that I'm actually like gonna share space with others when I do actually sort of come into these spaces even. Okay, so we're gonna go into Smaradina and their reading. Bear with me, guys. You know what? I am sorry. I'm just bringing something up. I don't know what it's going to do to the space, but let's see. Let's see how it works. Right. While that loads, Let me go to the question. Smerodina wants to know, will they end up with Vasilis? Like, overall? You know? Is that the ultimate destination? The end goal? Let me have a... Bear with me, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to get something going in the background for us, but we'll see how that goes. Right. So this is interesting. Oh, okay. We're gonna sort of like go through the cards and see what the cards actually sort of say. From splitting the deck, I can tell you moving forward, it's looking. Do you see Vasilis and Smerodina ending up together? Like, okay. 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 Short answer is no. And I have to tell you, what I'm seeing with the situation here is that it's more of a wishful sort of like thinking or a wishful sort of comfort dynamic. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. I think that for both of you guys, there's a certain level or element of comfort. And yeah, I think with that situation where there's a certain element of comfort, that's what seems to be the connection and like the feeling drawn to each other. And that's why you guys kind of like I guess continue to be pulled back to each other in terms of like being curious about like what's going on and even still caring potentially about what's going on with the other person. I think with the situation that they're navigating through right now, with this new person, oh sorry, I'm like checking into the chat. Okay. Oh, y'all are on job. Oh, sorry. Sorry, we've kind of closed the list for the night. Um, to answer your question, I think that he feels like he can be happy. I think that he feels like it's different. It's a different situation with her. I guess he's not got as much of the baggage. Like he can still decide who he wants to present himself as and how he wants to grow into the person that he's going to try to present himself as, I guess. Is probably the best way that I can put it because we always send our representative first. But I think that he feels like he could be. I think right now, they're still just in kind of like fresh stages of everything. Fresh stages, I guess. But yeah. I hope that that was useful for you, love. I'm sorry if it's not necessarily the answer that you wanted to hear, but I just have to keep it true with you. I think they're navigating through their own path and their own quest. I think that you guys shared something special, and I think that that's you guys, I guess, still both have like a special place for each other. But that's about as much as it needs to be for now. Okay. I want to say yes. I want to say yes. I feel like they're going to give this situation a chance. And in order for them to do that, ultimately, you guys have to be done. Like, done. Okay. But sit with that, process it. Relationships are like a lot to grieve. So take your time. I hope that was useful for you, though. That's heavy. It's like all up in my my field right now. Night, Mina. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much, Akima, for all the clarity details I needed to know at this point of time. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Smuradina. Yeah, just take your time with it. So yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Kayla, are you in the building? I see Gypsy's been on job. Thank you, Gypsy. Gypsy is ready. It's okay. It's okay. I can't see when you sort of like drop out M22. Angeline, I don't know, Sophie, I think it is, or I'm not really out here in these YouTube streets. Like, this is my only family. I see these awesome, beautiful people in spirit. We chop it up and then we go back to our lives. We go back into our little cocoons until the next week. The snap if I manage to get here. So, yeah. No. Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, I don't think Kayla's here. You go for it, Ari. I love this. Yeah, I'm all like in with it as well. Oh, Ari. We've got little titles for each other. I love this. See, this is what we come and do on Friday nights, actually. Okay? We come and hang out and hold space for each other. Right, Ari? Let's have your question. Beautiful. Let's dive into it. Maybe try and catch us next week for the lives again. Oh, okay, they're asking me to. Sorry, I'm like cleansing the cards. I can't with you, Ari. Again. Oh, listen. Okay. So, the answer to that question is yes, because they have to be. It's the only way they're going to get a chance. It's so funny because literally it's the same card that came up again when I parted the deck. That's funny. Yeah, they will be. And their energy matches that Daniel vibe that you like, and then some. Like, it's giving extra. Okay, it's giving extra stuff. So yeah, to answer your question, yes. I don't know if you saw the whole, like, there was a whole flying of cards, but yeah, you get your justice, girl. Literally, that's what the cards are saying. It's funny. You got justice. we've got Justice, Five of Swords in reverse, and we've got some like King of Pentacles energy in reverse. So I feel like him being a dominating force in terms of like him being Daniel, okay? I know, right? She's funny, Miss Yaz. She just went straight in for the kill. She like, okay, well, if I'm gonna have to like let this go, let me let me just start to, get myself in the awareness of what's to come. But it seems like with the situation, they're letting you know, like, trust me, justice will be served with this situation. Like, all of the stuff that you like and appreciate about Daniel, like, those are going to be qualities that I guess the person that you ultimately end up with, those will be qualities that they have, and then some. Like I said, it seems like with the situation, it's not even just their look that you find to be attractive, but it really is just like their whole vibe, their whole energy, like their whole, I don't want to say like that their masculine sort of like energy, but you like it, I guess. You like it. It's a thrill. They're not they're not they're not dictative, which is something that you appreciate about them. They're kind of more diplomatic, and that's how they express their manhood. And I think that that's something that naturally sort of like attracts you to them. And it's something that continues to grow. Yeah, it's something that continues to grow. So the answer is yes, girl. Okay. Um, God, Daniel isn't the only design that God made that way. Okay, he's got a plethora. He's got a plethora of them out there, I guess. But I'll say this much: I think that like that situation, when it sort of like comes into manifestation, like I want to put it across, like you're at a place in your life where you're kind of like taking no prisoners, like this is what the situation is. Can you sort of like meet these expectations? And they're like, I'm gonna handle it. And that's it. S&M. Nothing else needs to be said. Right, Miss Yas? Yes. Okay. I hope that was useful for you though, Ari. Okay. Sacred Beauty, I was wondering as well, because you guys are so like on job. I love this. Thank you guys, my people. Okay, so thank you. No, there aren't tons of them. There's not like, millions as such, because I guess the pickings are getting a little bit smaller and smaller, but there's more designs like him out there. I think as well, there's an adaptation. That's the best way that I can put it. There's like a subverse adaptation of Daniel that you end up with, because there's other quirks that they also need to have. So it could be, I know they did post. I know they did post. I was like looking to see. Right. Right. M22, I guess, is on the list as well, Pumpkin Soul. Thank you as well for like getting the list together. Thank you for being studious as well, Gypsy. Thank you so much for pointing all the stuff out. I appreciate y'all, man. What is WR Pisces? Female current energy towards what? Towards you? Or what is their current energy towards? Is the question finished, or am I reading it wrong? Somebody help me. What is? Okay, thank you. right? Thank you. Because I'm like, it's giving incomplete. But I couldn't tell. I knew that there was something else to it. Okay. Right. WR. I don't know why I keep saying RW because it's clearly WR. I'm seeing it in front of my face. So what is WR? Pisces female current energy towards me. Okay. Okay. This is for sacred beauty, y'all. This is for sacred beauty. Yes, you are on the list. You are on the list, M22. I think, did I say that? I don't know if I put it out there. I was having the thought, but I don't know if I said it out loud. Right. So, WR. Okay. Right, guys. Thank you for giving us some context, Sacred Beauty, because we want to be able to like get the whole dynamics of the situation. What's WR's actual like energy towards Sacred Beauty? What's their energy towards Sacred Beauty? Okay. Okay, give me a card. Put it into perspective. Thank you. Are you going to tell me a story? Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I did hear. I was actually saying it seems like Jason Lee delivered the information wrong. I think he probably meant to say that he got news that she was probably in a state of, duress, and maybe on the way towards the transition. But yeah, I got some extra time off work. I'm sorry. I got some extra time off work. It's like a big thing, I guess. I'm sure it's going to like continue to. Do you think that he manifested? Hold on. I'm like thinking it to myself now, like, do you think he manifested it, y'all, with his putting it out there and then months later it's like, no, that conversation. Let's take a pin in it. That's a sidebar conversation. But yeah, Sacred Beauty, to answer your question, I think they're holding on to something. They're actually holding on to something. There's some element of resentment. Are they quite like demanding and controlling in terms of like the dynamics that you guys experience in friendship? The question's for Sacred Beauty, by the way. Because they're showing me that there's a lack of closure towards like certain unprocessed feelings, like there's unresolved feelings about certain situations that is kind of like causing a little bit of resentment, and not necessarily being able to kind of get past it. So I'm trying to understand as well, because they're showing me controlling, because they're showing me a domineering factor in terms of the relationship. So I don't know if this is your energy or theirs. I don't know if it's your energy or theirs that is seeming to be a little bit domineering, and sometimes can be like a little bit impulsive and just be like completely disregard the consequences of like the things that they say and how it makes other people feel. I don't know if this is again your energy or theirs, but it seems they may still be holding on to some feelings for something that you may have said in a moment of being direct that you probably didn't really think was that big of a deal because it just felt like a moment of sharing. No, I clocked it with you. I clocked it with you. Thank you for your honesty. So I'm letting it be known. Yeah. Because you can be so direct, I think that there was something that you may have said that they took a certain type of way, but I don't think that they fully let you know that that's really how they took it. I think that it really like hurt them. And I don't think that they're past it yet. I don't know if they've had the discussion with you about this thing, even that they're holding on to, because it seems like there's a lack of closure with it. But they're wishing bad vibes. Bad vibes. They're wishing bad vibes. Like they're hoping that they're justice. They're hoping that they get justice. Like for how you made them feel, basically. They're hoping to get justice for how you made them feel. So that jealous sort of like energy that you're sort of picking up on, I can understand how the energy sort of like comes across in that way as well. But I think beneath it, the actual like cause of the situation is because of some stuff that was said in like, you know, it just feels like it's like a fleeting moment, just saying things, and not really sort of like being bothered about no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. They're saying that I can't say that because technically, like on different levels and layers of things, like everything's a spell. So I guess by their energy, yes. By their energy, yes, because they're kind of like at this point, I think the best description for them is a frenemy as opposed to a friend. Because low key, this situation isn't really resolved. It's just not. It's not. And I think even if you guys were to have the conversation, I think besides that, the jealousy is also still just a factor in you guys' dynamic. So yeah, just watch your back. That's what I can say to you. Just watch your back and your front and your sides too, and your crown. Okay, because I feel like they wherever they can like get in to kind of like break you down, I guess they kind of like want to knock you off, like they want to knock you off kind of where you are at the minute. So yeah, just be mindful how you kind of like engage when you're in their space and stuff. Watch your words, because they're actually a lot more sensitive than they clearly let on, because they're holding feelings about certain things that you've actually said. Just being yourself, I don't think it was anything like said maliciously. I think you were just like naturally just sharing, but I think that they were just they were sensitive to what you had to say, what your opinion was. So yeah, that's it. Watch your back and everywhere else too. Okay. They're working through some stuff when it comes to it. Oh, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. That's what's up. I appreciate you. Okay, so Pumpkin, I just saw your question. Okay. Thank you. I'm assuming you're next on the list. Where's Bobby? Bobby, are you in the building? I think they were calling. You guys called for Bobby earlier, right? I think I saw Gypsy calling for Bobby. Yeah, Gypsy was calling for Bobby. Bobby, are you here? Are you with us? Because we are going to go on to Pumpkin Soul. Let's see. I don't think Bobby's here. Okay, Bobby, we're going to go on to Pumpkin Soul. Yeah. See? I guess we still managed to keeping it to 10 because Bobby done left. Okay. And M22 obviously is going to get that slot. So that's what's up. M22 is always lucky like that, man. I'm telling you, your guides, they are on job. Okay, let's have a little look. Oh, Pumpkin Soul. I remember as well, we were kind of like talking. Oh, don't give up on life. No, Pumpkin Soul. I get that. You can give up on your now life, though. Don't give up on life in general. Like, it's okay to give up on your now situation or circumstance. But giving up on life in general makes it a lot more tricky than you actually sort of think. Because the gag is life doesn't end. It actually just takes on a new form. So this life might not be like, the bee's knees. But life will kind of continue in a different reality, a different realm. Okay. Sorry, I'm unpacking the stuff for you to see what we've got as far as the situation, because they're showing I pulled the angel cards for you and they're saying like trust that the situation will improve. I want to get more of what do we see happening. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. I think with the situation, what they're showing me, right, is that what you're healing at the minute as well. So like your physical manifestation, right? Because we're speaking about like the physical health and not even a lot of the times, all the times, this is more of an indication of some of the other stuff that's going on in other areas. They are showing me that the situation, it's likely to improve, but there's a lot of other factors to the situation that's kind of like holding you back from being able to kind of like make certain steps forward. Yeah, no, I know. The physical health situation is kind of like manifesting from some of these sort of like losses that you've kind of taken. I do feel like I'm going to say this, like it does feel like, and I understand why you said what you said earlier as well. It feels like there's been a little bit of a downward decline for a little bit as well. It feels like things got really quite tight for a little bit, sort of like being in this tunnel moment. And I want to put this across as well. Like sometimes when God's like taking us right into where we're trying to get to, he has to take us like through the tunnel. That's like the quickest way to get there. And a lot of the times it feels like, oh my God, when will this be over? But it's actually a lot shorter than what the other route would have been to actually get to where one's trying to go. So it forces a lot of growth in other areas. I feel like, I'm going to say this, I feel like it's going to feel like a little bit of a downward decline throughout a little bit of the winter period as well. And I do feel like that has to do with separation from loved ones and just kind of like feeling the absence of like care is what it feels like. those are some of the things that actually affects your health in other ways as well. So it actually like brings your vibration down, and then your health deteriorates even more so from that. And then after that point, I want to say sort of like coming into 2023, you start to get a little bit the physical situation. I'm going to say this, right? Because I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that it's quite a long journey. Yeah, I'm seeing that it's quite a long journey for the physical sort of how can I put it? The physical recovery. Thank you. The physical recovery. Because there's so many other areas, unfortunately, that are weakened. That's what they're showing me. There's so many other areas that are actually sort of like weakened as well. You do get to a better place at the top end of next year. Winter's going to be a little bit challenging. I'm not going to lie. Trust your process. And I say challenging because like, I'm not sure what your ailments are. I don't know if they kind of tend to shift with different seasons. But I'm seeing that, yeah, it's going to have like the winter period is going to have like a little bit of an impact in terms of like just aches and pains. That's what they're showing me, aches and pains. That lightens a little bit going into next year. I think you also have to do more is what they're saying to me as well. I think that from what they're showing me with the situation, they're saying like, I know you can't do much, like, and I know it's a struggle for you to like do the things that you want to be able to do. But you'd be surprised if you pushed yourself a little bit more, instead of telling yourself that you can't do certain things before you try to do it. That might, yeah, that might sort of like help you to start to see like little improvements in terms of the physical health with the situation. Yeah, it's gonna get, I have to keep it real with you, Pumpkin. So it's gonna get a little bit worse before it gets better. It feels like the winter, it's real intense, aches and pains. And then in navigating through that and combating that, it feels a little bit better. It feels a lot less painful than during the other few months prior to that. Yeah, I think that from there, it is a situation again of you. Yeah, and I get that. I think like being in a state physically, like for significant periods of time, it gets a little bit hopeless. What I think when it comes to these types of situations as well, because like whenever we deal with like physical manifestations in lifetimes as well, it's a lot to do with other stuff as well, that we've kind of endured, or karmic debts and stuff that we have to sort of like continue to sort of pay off. So I think whilst you're in this space of like navigating just through the challenge, and I know that it's like exhausting because I feel it, like it does feel hopeless. it does feel like it's just not really going to get any better per se. But I think it's a case of also just learning how to accept accept where you are now and how to kind of like work with the situation. And when I say accept where you are now, I think a lot of the times when things happen to us, right? And this is the way that they're giving it to me. So a lot of the times when things happen for us, correcting my words, when things happen for us, we're in so much resistance to the situation. All we're focused on is when am I going to get out? When am I going to get out? And we miss, because we're so busy like thinking when am I going to get out, we miss looking around the room to see where the key is in the room, because the key is there in the room as well. It's just we're so busy wanting to be somewhere else, we're not realizing that we're exactly where we need to be. Okay, y'all, thank you for the riddles. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna have a sidebar with my team. Okay, I appreciate what you guys are saying, right? But also like Pumpkin's out here and she's saying like she's been like navigating through this physical challenge for like 13 years, right? And sorry, I'm seriously having a whole sidebar. Like I get that, you know, there's certain things that she has to do as well. But what can you guys do as well to kind of like lend your energy and support? Because you couldn't imagine sort of like going through this process for that significant period of time, and then just kind of like, you know, being told to just kind of like accept where you are. Like, who does that? Sorry. I'm back with y'all. Right? But I had to have like that sidebar there because I really do understand what they're saying, right? And like whenever I come into these spaces, my intention is always to like connect to beings of high vibration. And I like the message that they're giving. But also like being human and actually navigating through the process, it's intense. Like energy has feelings, it's dense, the feelings, and it takes its toll on us emotionally, right? So I fully understand where they're coming from in terms of their perspective on the situation and the fact that, like, you know, things are happening as it needs to. But at the same time, we really want to sort of like understand for you. And then I have no support. I've told my family how I am, and they completely ignore me. And I think that this is what they were sort of like speaking about, like in terms of the holidays coming, like these types of things as well. Like, and this is why I was trying to like put across your case, like these things have an impact emotionally, because then, you know, you're kind of like navigating through your everyday circumstances, and that can be quite lonely sometimes. And then you have like these occasions that are supposed to be momentous for like family dynamics, where you would naturally expect or have certain you know, just like inkling of hope, and then it's just disappointment after disappointment. So it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not telling you because I have to listen. Me and my guys, we quarrel from time to time. We go back and forth because I have to also like explain to them like the experience of like actually being human and navigating through some of the challenges of being human, where they're all like, oh, it's for the great good. And like all of that aside, great stuff. Amazing, right? Love it. But actually like being in the experience of certain things, it's a challenge, and actually having to navigate through it is exhausting. It's exhausting. And I think sometimes like that gets taken for granted out there, I guess because they don't have like a body anymore, maybe. Maybe that's what it is. But no, I think that there'll be the physical health situation It's touchy. There's more that you would have to do to be able to see improvement. I think ultimately that's what they're saying as well. There's more that you would have to do to see the type of improvements that you would want to do. And I know that it's a challenge because you don't have the support. How about we do this, guys? How about we start to make sure that there's at least some support for Pumpkin to be able to kind of work towards some of these changes that you guys feel that she has the key to be able to sort of shift certain things to just a small degree. How about we do that instead of just being how about we kind of work together? But yeah. Hi, Pinky. Nice to see you, love. The free list is closed for tonight. I'm with you here, Pumpkin. I'm with you here because I fully grasp and understand. But that's what I'd say with the situation. As you're navigating through it, ask for the support that you need, and it's not going to come from the places that you've already looked and not seek the support that you so rightfully deserve. They're not a vibrational match to deliver that blessing to you. It will stay hanging as a hanging blessing up there because their hearts aren't aligned to be able to deliver that to you. But continue to put it out there. Continue to let the universe know exactly what it is that you need in terms of support, right? And let the universe continue to sort of work for you. Tell your guides what you need from them in terms of support every day, little things. You're navigating through a lot as well, with everything that you're going through. With the physical situation, it is impacting your emotional and psychological sort of state as well. So definitely sort of ask your guides as well to be able to help you navigate through some of those low vibrating feelings as well. And as always, man, the soul family here, we're gonna put prayers out there, put some prayers up for you guys. Eventually I guess I'll start a little prayer line, maybe closing out the end of 2022. I'll do a little prayer group where we just come and pray for all the stuff that we're kind of leaving behind in 2022, because this year has been interesting to say the least. Okay, but I hope that was useful for you, my love. Yeah, I hope it was. Whew. You got me on a sidebar with the whole team as well there, Pumpkin. Sometimes the sidebars are necessary though, because they say one thing, but life is happening, man. Who do we have next on the list? Thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Who do we have? Okay, is that it? I'm doing good tonight. Early night for me. That's what's up. I love that. Okay, so we are. Oh, okay. Right. I'm gonna grab these. Oh no, I got what you meant, girl. I got what you meant. Mercury's in retrograde. It's cool. Hey, Charlie. I is good, beautiful. How are you doing? How are you doing, love? It has gone very quick tonight. I don't know if I'm getting quicker with the readings or they were more, direct, yes or no sort of question. I feel like there were more yes or no questions, right? It feels like that because it actually ended so quickly. We're good though. We're good. We're just chopping it up. We're having a quick one tonight. I might actually finish within less than 2 hours. We've got 2 left. So we want to see. Do you know what? I'm gonna give you a month-to-month scope. Yes, 2022. You are gonna get to ask your question. I'm just gonna unpack the rest of 2022 for Miss Yaz, and then we'll kind of okay. We'll start with September, shall we? Oh. Honestly. Chaley, the free list, I guess, closed a while ago. We kind of like had the free list of like 10 people. The donation sort of like a list is open. Anything, it's I guess more so a transactionary thing. I'm not really that fussed, to be fair. But yeah, if you want a reading, you can. I think the details would be in the description. Cashapp is the name. PayPal is the name, I think. I don't know. It should be in the description. But yeah. Right. So we're gonna go September. We've got September's, okay. Let's see what's going on for November for Miss Yaz for this year. How did I get okay. I skipped October. Okay. All right. Let me come back to November then. Show me October. We got November. Show me October. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Sorry, I'm like, I want to see what's going on. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Do you know what? Stick around. I might be able to pull something out the bag for you. Okay? Don't worry. I got you. Right. December. That was for Chaley, by the way. December. Let's see what's going on for December with Miss Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Sorry, let me see. So it's interesting, right? Because October like had a whole little story to it. November and September seems to be like one tone. Okay, so this month we're navigating through some, yeah. Oh, you're good, beautiful. You're good. You're good. Don't worry. Look at God being God. Okay, that's what that is. So what I'm seeing for you in the month of September this month, like you're navigating through definitely a major arcana. We've got like the Lover's energy here, sort of in reverse. Okay. Hey y'all, look at y'all coming into the room. I came in wrong timing. Is the free actually close? Next time. It is closed, angelic. It is. And Chaley just came in. You know, God didn't send her over here to give her some little clarity. So the list is going to close with her. But, you know, yeah, it's finished up. But we'll be live again. Oh, no. Y'all, I'm going to be having surgery next week, BTW. So your girl's going to be down for like a good couple of weeks. BTW, I forgot to even put that out there and like give you guys that little update. But yeah, I'm going to have to keep you guys posted on when I'm going to be coming back. And y'all, I worked hard at building this little consistency for these last few weeks. So pray that I get to keep that, because you know, when you go through life changes, things shift. Okay. So if y'all want us to keep having our little shing-dings on Friday nights, pray that my spirit of consistency continues to maintain itself after the fact. Because I'm Pisces by nature. Okay. We're flaky. I'm working on it. But yeah. So we'll see you next time, Angelic. But thank you for stopping into the room. Miss Yaz, the situation for this month. So it seems like you're dealing with what seems like imbalanced relationship dynamics. It seems like the theme for this month in particular is that you're going to have to kind of like learn how to be able to kind of like bring these situations into balance. Romance dynamics as well, even sort of like looking at the situation, even as I said that as well, like my nose started. So romance, as far as like how this is expressing itself as well in terms of romance, it's almost kind of like dealing with withdrawn energy in terms of like romantic situations. And you're going to sort of like continue to navigate through, I guess, some of those types of dynamics where there's separations, because things aren't necessarily as balanced as they need to be, right? That's what I was thinking. It flew out and it was in reverse. I was like, I thought when I saw it initially, I thought, oh, good card, but then I saw that it was in reverse, and I'm like, okay, cool. Still some work to do. That's all that is, right? Still some work to do. Now, with like, it feels like there's just a lot of like scattered energy, like leaving September basically. Going into October, it feels like things are feeling oh, interesting. Okay, so going into October, like after dealing with all of those like scattered energy in September, October feels like being a little bit burnt out from all of the confusion and things just being like displaced and scattered all over the place, and just being like self-protecting. So like just guarding yourself, protecting your energy from other people. I wouldn't say there's complete isolation, but you are selective throughout the month of October who and where you place your energy to. You're very much like, nah, back up. I don't have room for that. I think that from what I can see, going into November, that energy in October, where your energy is kind of like being protected and being self-serving, because that's what I'm sort of like seeing, not necessarily in a bad way, because listen, we serve others, we're designed for service, right? We serve others. A lot of the times we need to serve ourselves too. It's important actually to keep things in balance. So while you're kind of like doing that and drawing and calling your energy back into yourself in October, November, you get back to a place now where you're like dealing with scattered energy, but you're kind of like almost cutting through the BS type thing. And there's like a disregard for consequences, or like, okay, how it may even be making someone feel about their situation. There's a big shift that happens in October for you. And it's so funny because you've got major arcanas like as you're navigating through the rest of the year. So September, we've got the Lovers. In October, we do have the Hierophant upright, but we've got a bunch of other cards as well. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, Four of Swords in reverse, and we've also got the Four of Pentacles in reverse as well. Right. So it does let me know that this dynamic that you're navigating through, that shit is the key. Okay, to be able to help you overcome whatever sort of like imbalances in the relationships that you're navigating through this month. So that little space definitely creates the shift that you need in going into November. Now, by the time you get into December with the situations that you're navigating through, it feels like, and this is interesting, right? Like there's a planning situation that isn't planned out. It's not planned out effectively as it needs to be. It's not planned out effectively as it needs to be. You're dealing with that in the month of December. And it feels like it may kind of be, it can either show up as like some obstacles to the things that you're actually you're manifesting at the minute. And it may sort of reveal itself as delays and delaying what it is that you're manifesting. Doesn't stop it, but it does potentially delay it, this chaotic planning, because that's how they're showing me. It's like having to basically like be patient and resilient about the fact that there isn't really like the kind of planning in place as it needs to be. But you find your strength. You've got your strength in December. That's again the next month where you've got another major arcana. Okay. I don't know. Let's have a look and see as far as like the planning. Funny enough. What's the planning for? Clarify these two. Okay, thank you. Okay. 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 So from what I'm seeing with the situation, it's talking about home dynamics and it's talking about family dynamics. These are the two areas that you're going to be like, I guess, building. Well, your strength is going to come into calling, I guess. Patience and resilience are the two factors in the month of December that's really going to be beneficial to you, because this recovery that's happening, because there's a lot of other factors that depends on other people as well, their ability to just kind of like drag their legs or where they're at with dealing with certain things are some of the factors that causes a little bit of delay. Their ability to be impulsive sometimes as well, and not necessarily really think things all the way through. Yeah, are some of the things basically that yeah, that Capricorns in my first house. Okay. Okay. Yes, the strength card is in December. The strength card is in December. It's upright as well. So at least you'll be in a good position to kind of like navigate through some of these obstacles and challenges that you'll be navigating through. We do also at the bottom of the deck as well, in clarifying, we've got the devil card in reverse. So you're definitely like releasing a lot of bondages. You're kind of like releasing a lot of strongholds as you're navigating through this process. I think badass comes in October, and then November is kind of like exuding that type of energy, and then there's still the offset of I guess people actually responding to this new change that's taken place since October, but December you kind of have done enough between October and November to be able to feel like, okay, I got this. I got this. I think with the situation as far as like the home dynamic, what they're showing me with that is October is going to be like, that's going to be instrumental. How you handle in the month of October will determine whether it's planning or organizing the move, right? October is going to be contingent on that. This Hierophant moment that you're navigating through in October, that will determine where you are with the situation by December. Okay. Either way, what I'm seeing with it is that you're releasing certain contracts, like you're letting go of certain things by the month of December. So pace yourself, right? Pace yourself as you're navigating through everything, because it seems like October, you do sort of like go into October feeling a little bit burnt out. But that's really where you kind of like, like the thing about like our demons or whatever, it lets us know when we're off balance or when we're not necessarily like in a place where we are we're receiving the things that we need as well. So whatever situations, I guess, that needs to happen to kind of like trigger this moment where you're able to just kind of like get yourself okay. Okay, that's Saturn return in December. Okay, that's what's up. Okay. It's a great time for you to be able to kind of like release some of those Saturn karmic contracts in December. So just let the pace sort of like occur. Let it occur with this one. From what I'm seeing with it is that there's things that you need to do and it has to be done in stages with you personally. Okay. But yeah, I hope that was useful for you, love. There was a lot in there. Love that. Right, we've got M22, and then we are going to well, what they showed me on the wait what they showed me on the cards with the situation is that with everything that you're kind of like navigating through in September with the lovers being in reverse, there's separation, holding off, disconnect of communication type thing. October is kind of, I guess, walls going up, being self-protecting. November, it's like, okay, I'm literally like after having to be able to like build myself back up from having to go through some of these things. I think romance is still a little bit sketchy from what I can see. Definitely like meeting up with friends and having sort of like experiences. But I don't know, like intentionally dating, not so much. Not so much. There's other things that are sort of going on in the stratosphere out there, I guess. Okay. But I hope that was useful. Right. Hey, last live you told me about the Virgo wanting me to spend quality time. Then I did take time out to spend with the Virgo. Okay, please, I want to know, how does the Virgo feel about me? Awesome. Okay, let's go and dive into it. These are drawing. I'm being drawn to these, so we'll go and dive into it. Was it good time? Did you guys enjoy like a quality time together? Was it quality time? You know? Right. Okay. Let's see. How does M22's Virgo feel about them? Let us in. Let the cat out the bag. That's what's up. Yeah. We love a good time. We love a good time. That's what's up. Okay. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to pull some romance cards on it as well. It's interesting because what they're showing me is that they're... Oh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely one of my love languages as well, Chaley. Definitely. So what I'm seeing with the situation as far as like their feelings towards you with everything, right? They're actually being really, really intentional, really intentional about kind of like really going through this renewal in terms of the dynamics that you guys are experiencing. Like things have been disappointing in terms of like, not necessarily getting what you guys both kind of needed. And I think that now they're actually at the place where they're willing to be a little bit more resilient themselves as well. They're not just like having these expectations. They're actually like willing to kind of like pour in as well. They're willing to sort of like pour in as well. You kind of have to direct as well what it is that you need. Yeah, I'm sure they had a good time as well. They had a good time as well. I think they're kind of they want to be able to also have like heart-to-heart conversations about maybe some of the downtime that you guys don't necessarily spend together, and how they feel. I guess like they want to be able to sort of like express their feelings about how they feel when you guys don't spend as much time together, and how much they miss you, and how much they actually want to be able to do more, and yeah, just kind of like get up there on the priority scale, I guess, as far as like the priority for you. I think that from what I can see with the situation as well, like they're definitely at a place where they're feeling like you guys are definitely coming back. That's what it feels like. It feels like a comeback that's stronger than before. And I feel like they realize that themselves as well. And at this point, they're realizing that they also have to kind of like give a little to get something as well. And I think they're kind of like figuring out how to rest in that. I think they're kind of like identifying how to be able to kind of, um, you know, play their part as well, and make sure that they're showing up how they need to, so that there doesn't necessarily have to be more experiences where there's like withdrawal or like boundaries, oh, I'm going to have to put you in timeout at the minute because you're not necessarily meeting certain expectations of mine type thing. But yeah, I think their feeling towards you is that they're actually willing to figure out how to be more resourceful at pouring into you as well, so that there's less disappointments on their end as well. Because I think what's kind of like happened is at the time that you guys have, not necessarily spent as much time as you would have liked, they got to realize just how much they just missed just being around you and stuff, and from there, I think now they're at a place where they want to be able to kind of like do more, to just let it be known like they appreciate it now. I think that they have a sense of appreciation for kind of like having you be a part of the situation now. But yeah, I think sorry, I'm like clarifying some of the cards here. Okay. Yeah. I think the overall feelings towards you is that, they want to continue to be able to kind of like give things a chance, and really just have those heart-to-heart conversations about, did you guys like go through or experience a little bit of downtime where there was like period of like not as much engagement or interaction? Answer me that question, I guess. But yeah, seems good. I think in sort of like closing out the space, I guess the one thing that they're saying that it's just about communicating clearly, because there's a peaceful resolution to the situation. And if you continue to ask your angels, because you see they do the most for you. Okay, they do the most for you. If you continue to ask your angels, they'll definitely be able to kind of like help you to find exactly what will be the most peaceful resolution in having some of these conversations. And I think as well, in having heart-to-heart conversations sometimes as well, it can be quite triggering, and I think that that's probably, if I leave you with anything, I feel like I have to leave you with that, or put that out there. I guess we've got like the Pisces full moon tomorrow, I think. So we're in for an emotional ride. Yeah. The separation situation. I'm assuming the yes is to the separation situation, right? let me know. But yeah, I think with everything, they just want to be able to kind of like let you know where they are right now. Yeah, definitely 100%. Oh no, I got what you meant, Chaley. I got what you meant. And I get that. I get that. I understand M22. I think with the situation, interesting, Chaley. Okay, that's what's up. I'm coming to you next, so I'm gonna unpack your question. I'm sure it'll be interesting to be able to sort of like connect your energy and unpack. The fear is natural. Do you know what I mean? It's natural to be able to converse with yourself, or your body converses, like it kind of like psychs itself up, like, oh my god, all of these different things, right? The body starts to speak about all of these different, it starts to let you in on like how certain traumas have basically kind of like affected the way that you sort of like make decisions over certain things. But it's important to be able to kind of like acknowledge where you are. So it's great that you've acknowledged the fear of being vulnerable, but we've all got to grow, and it's the things that we are most scared of. Do you think they are falling in love? Because, oh, that's sweet. So, like, I do really really like them a lot, but I'm trying to control the No, and I get you on that. I get you on that. I feel like, yeah, we're all like playing a little bit of poker face at the minute. Um, yeah, Divine Feminines are doing a little bit of a poker face sort of game um, out there. I think Divine Masculine, they've got their own sort of like games going on because they're navigating through their own stuff, right? But definitely. Definitely the masking sort of situation. I feel like they definitely sort of feel a connection to you as well. I feel like they also have like romantic feelings, and they want to be able to sort of like express those feelings as well. um yeah, they want to be able to express those feelings as well, and I think that once they kind of like express those feelings, that's kind of your green light to be able to allow for yourself to be vulnerable in the moment. The vulnerability, once you're vulnerable, you can't ever take it back. What that means is that you've grown in that area. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, even if there are consequences to that moment of vulnerability, as there are for everything else in life, um, you learn whatever it is that you need to learn in the process of doing that, but you also would have already grown just from that moment of vulnerability, because it would have expanded just your consciousness. It would have expanded your emotional capacity as well to actually be sort of like available, because the more that we're vulnerable, the more, I guess, space we create, so that we can actually have some stuff to be poured back into us. So when you kind of, put that out there, the growth happens regardless. So keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. They also have like romantic feelings that they want to express to you. So you're not necessarily, I don't know if they're like falling. They might be tripping, but I don't know if they're falling yet. So I think it's just one of those things where they're also trying their best to like not be too impulsive, if you will. They're trying to manage their feelings as well. And they're just trying to make sure that they meet, I guess, because I think, are you kind of like, are you pushing the let's take it slow narrative? Let's have that conversation. Are you pushing the let's take it slow and kind of like you know, figure out where we are now and see how things kind of unfold and develop and all of that good stuff. Let me know. But that's not true. You don't even want to take it slow. Yeah, but you don't even really want to take it slow. It's so funny. You're so funny. That's why I asked the question, because they're saying to me it's a farce. They're like, it's a farce. And I get it. I get it. Obviously, because you're scared, you're kind of like wanting to be able to take it slow. Don't sabotage the situation before it's even begun, okay? Take it at the natural pace that you feel, but proceed with caution, okay? That doesn't mean you go and like rush and dive back into everything, like just like that, but also at the pace that you're going, or at the pace that you're asking them to take it, it's going to leave you in a place of confusion, because it's going too slow to where you're really at with your feelings. But because your feelings are at a place where you're not all the way comfortable with acknowledging that that's the actual feeling, it may just send mixed signals out there, and it might just cause a lot of disruptions in the communication. We are in the class of communication. Mercury has effectively gone retrograde in Libra of all signs. So here comes some romance BS for us to kind of like sit and take notes. Okay, that part. So yeah, let's chill on that for a little bit. Let's chill on that. Let's chill on the I'm saying one thing, but I mean something else. So how about you just say what you mean and go with that one? And I'm sorry, M22, if it feels like I'm calling you out, but they're just keeping it true. They're like, look, really, you would actually like for things to be moving at a faster pace, because then that's where you're going to be able to sort of like get the clarity that you're looking for. Yes, I will try to handle the situation a bit better. I think I need to calm my fears down. Talk yourself through it. Like, listen, the thing about fear as well, like sometimes like fear is so irrational, it's unreal. So sometimes like you'll have fears and then you'll ask a question, you'll say, like, okay, but why do I feel that way? Like, why is that a fear? And then when you ask that question, you find that it's actually a completely irrational fear. Like it doesn't even have any substance. But here it is, consuming so much time and drawing so much focus and energy from your mind space, that it's actually convincing you that it's a real fear, that it's something that's likely to happen, when it doesn't even exist in a hypothetical reality, because it's so irrational. Do you see what I'm saying? And it may be coming from a place of another situation trying to anchor itself to your now situation. So those are some of the things that you need to kind of like, unpack with that situation a little bit. Have conversations with your fear, man. Like, listen, sometimes when I talk to my fear, I'm like, oh my God, girl, you are funny. Oh my, really? Really? How did you get that one? Because sometimes our fears are premature. Do you see what I'm saying? They're like old programming, our childhood self, things that we've seen, especially when it comes to like relationships and stuff. So you're good. You're good. Take it at no, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. Take it at the pace that is naturally flowing. Don't intercept your channel flow, but definitely take heed of being cautious. Okay. Thank you, beautiful. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I think it was interesting to sort of like see with the situation. Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think the guides, they're just, yeah, they do their own thing. They've been so direct this evening. I feel like that's why things have kind of like moved so quickly. Whew. But thank you for that, M22. I'm glad that you stopped into the space and shared your energy with us as always. Chaley, if you're still in the building, let's get your question and then I can close it up. Look at God, man. Look at that. I hope you're sort of like getting your question ready for us. But we're going to finish up the space, Chaley. Let me know if you're... that's what's up. I love that. Mm-hmm. Thank you, M22. Love you guys too. Dang, Chaley. Listen, it's a lot. This is a whole lot. Hold on, let me digest that firstly. I'm normally not a complainer. However, I got ghosted by 7 guys in a row, got fired. Hey, Bobby, you got back into the room. We were literally closing out with Chaley, but I know that you were on the list before, and there's still, I guess, like flexible timing. You did. But I'm gonna do Chaley's reading, and then I'm gonna come straight to you. I like the multitasking, so I'm gonna let you off because we did miss you earlier on. But I'm gonna do Chaley's reading quickly as well. Okay. You can hang out. I don't know what the work situation is at the minute, or if you want to come back and like check in like 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna just kind of like go through Chaley's. We'll see. If you can stick around, then do. If not, check back in like 5-10 minutes. So Chaley says, I'm not a complainer. However, I got ghosted by 7 guys in a row, got fired, broke 2 of my teeth that I can't afford to fix due to the latter. The friend I did have stole from me, so I cut a break. Stole from me, so I cut a break. I really can't handle much more. That sounds like a whole lot. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That sounds like a lot, Chaley. That sounds like pretty intense. What's the question? just between you and I. What's the actual like question? What do you wanna know from the guides? Like I see Luna, she's out there tonight, just kind of like looking down in preparation. So, you know, we're all sort of like here to utilize the space to channel what you need to get some clarity. A break. Is that your question? No, the other part did post. The other part did post, but I'm trying to understand what is the actual question. Like, how do I ask or put across your questioning to the guides to a point where I can actually like get you clarity? Do you know what I mean? Because the it's more of a statement than a question, and I hate to be like, you know, that gal, but yeah, these things, it kind of like makes a difference for how much clarity I can get. So the question was in the other part. Okay, the other part says, I'm normally not a complainer. However, okay, hold on. I'm gonna like take off my dyslexic hat, put it to the side, okay? And I'm gonna read this again, see if we can get like clarity. I'm not normally a complainer. However, I got ghosted by 7 guys in a row, got fired, broke 2 of my teeth that I can't afford to fix due to the latter. The friend I did have stole from me, so I cut. I think it's missing a piece, to be fair, you know. Yeah, I think it's missing a piece. I think it is missing a piece of the conversation. Okay. I'm actually not getting your full on question. Yeah, I can see that. I am missing a part because I'm like looking and I'm seeing cut them out. Okay, was dumb and let my ex, whom I'm still in love with, come around and screw with my head this week. And then my car got towed from the grocery store. Is the universe ever going to give me a break? Okay, we got there. We got there. I see you, Chaley. I see you. There's a few things that I was going to ask, actually. I was going to ask, like, how old you are, but you never really ask a lady her age. So I felt a little bit awkward putting that one out there. But if you're comfortable to share, let me know. If not, that's fine as well. You did share with me some stuff about your astrology. Let me go back to that as well, because that might give me some insight into all of this chaos that seems to be like, the breakthrough does look a lot like chaos. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very exhausting. But yeah. So you said, I'm a Pisces sun. This was your thingy. Message. I'm a Pisces sun, Venus descendant, and Lilith. Okay, Venus descendant and Venus Lilith. Okay. And a Virgo moon. Okay. And rising. So supposing that, okay. 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 Oh, the Virgo moon as well. Dang. Okay. Right. I changed the word dumb but to just the okay. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey Mimi, we're actually going to be closing out this space with Bobby Lee Love. And then I'm off. I'm sorry, beautiful. Join us again next week though. We'll sort of like see how it goes. Yeah, with you kind of like giving me some insight into your astrology. I definitely got it. We'll be live around about the same time next week. So tune in. Get in nice and early, because the list actually closed today before the live even started, because I actually go live at like 9:45. So get in nice and early is what I'd say. So you can get your name added to the list. So you can be like one of the first readings, because yeah. Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, beautiful. What I'm going to say with your situation, so at the minute, and I'm gonna pull some cards for you, and kind of like put things into context. So we know that Chaley's been going through a lot, guys, right? Ultimately, show me, where is she in life right now, and what path is she crossing? Okay, we're going to start with, where is she in terms of her faith walk right now? We'll start there. Okay. Good stuff. No, thank y'all. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And I know it don't look good, Chaley. Okay, I know it don't look good. But let's see. What path is she crossing in navigating through this? What path is she kind of crossing? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. The universe is cutting you a break. This is what they're giving me. So this is what they're giving me, love. Right. Let me take this off. Hold on. Let me go back to it. They are showing me that the universe is giving you a break. It doesn't look or feel like it. I do want to put that out there. It doesn't look or feel like it because of the current sort of like dynamics, because you're going through the breakthrough of it all. You're not like on the other side of it. You're kind of like still breaking down the layers of your old life. And as the layers of your old life, as you're sort of like shedding the layers of your old life, basically, So we're going to unpack like bit by bit because they're showing me even like bits and pieces of it. So as far as the guys that ghosted you, the universe was like, no, not even in alignment with what it is that you actually really want. Those were more settling situations. And that's something that you have to be able to, I guess, get better at with yourself so that pattern that's been developed. So your picker needs to get better so that the universe can, I guess, stop putting that type of situation in the mix. As far as the getting fired situation, you just got promoted, boo. Okay, God just promoted you. Okay, that's what that is. No, seriously, but like there's it doesn't feel like it right now because obviously that's what the focus was on before, right? That was where the stability was sort of like coming from. But there's something that you've actually been asking for. My question to you, did you were you in love with the job? Did you like it? Answer me that as far as the job, because I don't know if it's a loss so much as it's a sacrifice, if that makes sense. um because you may have just needed to like let that go to create room for the other stuff that is actually coming in to ground for you, the other stuff that you've been trying to manifest. What teeth is it? Answer me the question about what teeth is it. This sounds weird, but yeah, answer me the question about what teeth did you break as well, because I liked it. I know spirit didn't want me there. Come on. Come on, Jaylee. And you know how this works, okay? Like, ultimately, we have a plan, but ultimately, God's plan is what actually manifests itself. And if you know that, like, Spirit was already letting you know that this isn't where I see you growing, this isn't my purpose for you, this is like a placeholder for a period of time. Like, what you should have been, if you knew that Spirit, low key already, wasn't happy with you being there, you should have been preparing yourself for the transition. Okay, so one molar on each side of my mouth on the middle bottom. Okay, sorry, I'm like literally I'm going to understand a little bit more about maybe what chakras are going through clearing, because all of these little things, they mean things constantly all the time. Sorry. Sorry, I'm like properly going to like check out the details. My bad, my bad. Here we are. Okay. So you said one molar on each side of my mouth on the bottom middle. Bottom middle. Okay. Okay, so we're dealing with lung issues. We're dealing with lungs. We're dealing with lungs. Are you quite passive? Are you quite passive sometimes? When you experience certain situations with people, you just kind of like internalize the energy. Help me understand that. And the reason why I'm asking is because they are both second to last. Okay, second to last. Let me see. Yep, lungs. That's where I was looking, because that's where I figured it might be. Interesting. So you're dealing with, okay, okay. So would you be more direct? How are you with the spirit of anger? That's the reason why I'm asking about lungs, because I'm trying to understand. Thanks, my love. Where actually I've had something going on with my sinuses for 2 years. Okay, okay, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So, oh, bronchus. Okay. So you're kind of like you're clearing through blockages in your solar plexus, right? So there's see, it's so funny. I can feel it affecting my lungs as well. Yeah, because it's ultimately it's the lungs that's actually like that's the thing. So that's okay. The lungs ultimately is like the organ that is vibrating at the frequency essentially that is manifesting some of these experiences. This is why I asked like what's your dynamic with the spirit of anger, because the spirit of anger, like anger is where the lungs is where we store anger sometimes as well, like um, premeditated anger. So a lot of the times it's like internalized anger, things that we probably have like sat on. So that's why I'm trying to understand a little bit about. That's why I asked about the passivity earlier, because I was trying to understand where that may be actually like manifesting as like so a lot of the times we've got a lot of things going on spiritually, right? And the body's trying to let us know with these little things that show up what's actually taking place spiritually. So I think with that dynamic, I definitely I don't get angry any longer. I figured out it is a waste of my energy. I used to have anger issues. So, okay. So it sounds like, and this is what happens a lot of the times when we break our contracts with certain spirits, right? You figured out how to work through your anger. But again, that's where it lives pretty much. What's it? Lungs and liver are like two of the places, because it these things affects our breathing, and that's when we know we're sort of like infiltrated by other lower spirits. So what I would recommend that you do now that you've kind of like gone through the process of that. So this is interesting. Um, cut the cord, and when I say cut the cord, so our solar plexus, right, is one of the actual like exit points for energy to be able to kind of like be released from our body. So what you would actually tend to do, so you would actually like churn your whatever hand is like your dominant hand, and again, you would charge your energy up first, right? You would go into a meditative state, charge your energy up first so you can feel your chi in the palms of your hands. And then you would kind of open the energy exit portal within the solar plexus. And once you kind of like feel you'll be able to feel it within your breathing, you'll feel it within your body, right? When it opens. And when you open it, you sort of like, you go clockwise with it to sort of like open it up, and then you kind of like pull the energy through. You pull the energy through intentionally, though. You intentionally sort of like pull through the energy with the you pull through the energy with the intent to be able to kind of like release any sort of like spirits that are vibrating at that frequency of anger, that may still see you as a source to be able to feed, right? And when you're finished with like doing all your intentional stuff and doing all that work there, you would close the energy back down the exit portal. You'd close it back down by sort of like going anti-clockwise. I'm excited for you, okay? Because it seems like you've been doing a lot of other things, but energetically, I will. Okay, well, put your question in, Bobby, and I'm going to come to your question next. And unfortunately, guys, I'm actually I am sort of going to finish up. Miridol, I'm going to look at the question again and see. And I don't know if I should say there's so much hate here. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the question, Bobby. We're gonna have we're gonna unpack it with the cards. I'm gonna come back to it and unpack it for you. But yeah, thank you, Obi. Yes, 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 yes. Oh yes, they used to have high class buffets here. Feeding on my anger energy. Yeah, 100%, 100%. So like cut that off, wrap that up, finish that up. And then also whilst you're doing the process of that, right, before you like close back up because what happens as well, like it's like when we clear the weeds in our garden, we've got to like plant something in place to be able to kind of like not let the weeds grow back, basically. So what to do, then put the intentions in place about what it is that you're kind of like manifesting with these new situations that are taking place. And another thing, Shaylee, look, if spirit doesn't want you somewhere, start creating your exit plan. Okay. Like seriously, I'm being so serious. And the reason why I'm putting it out there is because like when there's so many times, right, where certain things happen and I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss this? And my guides are like, we gave you a cue, we told you this, and I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't taking you seriously. Right? I wasn't taking you seriously. Spirit serious all the time. Spirit does not play about, its plans. So yeah. Save yourself the bother. This isn't one of those, like, be stubborn with humans. Okay? That's a fight worth fighting because you're like, we're worthy opponents, right? Like, and I'm still learning this lesson myself because I can't tell you how many times like I've been stubborn to listen to certain things that spirit said, and then I like miss windows of opportunity for certain things. But don't be hard on yourself about like missing that little situation. Like you've literally just got a promotion, beautiful. Like that spirit didn't want you in that space in the first place. So now you're going to be placed strategically in the place that you are rightfully intended. So like that's dope. We love that for you. Let me see if there was anything else in the original chat that you sort of put out there. Okay. And the teeth situation, that will be restored. It's going to take some time, not going to lie. Okay. It's going to take some time, but that will be restored. The spirit has to take things in stages to get to a place where that can be done. No qualms. Okay. So everything is going to be restored. Right now as well, like, as far as like the 7 guys, that was just like God being God and protecting you from yourself. Okay, girl. Basically. But yeah. Exactly that. Exactly that. And so impatient. No. Spirit's been waiting for a long time. And I think that you've been aware. You've been aware. It's like you're playing this little cat and mouse game with spirit, like, what is it like, do I really have to do it? But yeah, I think as far as the situation with the accent, usually obviously because I only sort of like go into one question at a time, and that's so far off onto the other aspect of the situation. Okay. What I'm seeing as far as the situation with the ex is no, that was that dynamic, like there was a lot to sort of like think about in the situation. There was things weren't necessarily balanced in that dynamic, to be fair. And it seems as though, yeah, it seems as though things are complicated due to that fact. Things don't seem like it could be balanced even now. So yeah, they're saying stick a pin in that. Stick a pin in that. Stick a pin in that. There are other factors or more important things, I guess they're saying, to sort of like think on. So stick a pin on the X situation. Come back, and I'll be able to like properly unpack it for you next week. Okay, because it seems a little complicated to say the least. Okay, that part. But yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to and honestly, like, do what you're good at. Like, seriously, you just got a promotion. That's what's up. We love that for you. Okay. Oh no, thank you, beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Do you know what, Mirador? It is, yes, we've had several lives. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because I know it's hella complicated. And I think that the imbalance that you guys are navigating through, I guess in this life, is probably something that you guys hadn't necessarily worked through from a past life as well. So that's something that's still giving at the minute, that you guys kind of, you're working through. So tune in. We'll try and unpack that stuff for y'all next week. I am going to quickly go to Bobby Lee. I don't know if you're still in the room, Bobby Lee. I think you gave us your oh, okay. That can definitely like affect, because there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of layers that has to sort of like be done with that type of dynamic as well. I do go on around about like 9:45. The live is set up for 9:30, but I go on 9:45 GMT, so UK time. Yeah, come and join us, because the list got closed like before the live even started. Okay, because I just wanted to have like a quick little situation. But we're good. We're good. Bobby Lee, I think you've left for your actual job because you fully at work. So I respect the hustle. I'm gonna go back and read your question. Anything that comes up about my job, I'm probably not gonna catch everything because I'm coming off my break. I kind of like two women here, but they listen to people who don't like me. And I don't know if I should stay. There's so much hate here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Chaley. I'm excited to like have you in the fold of the family. Like, we need more of us out here doing our stuff. Thank you, Bobby, for confirming, right? We're gonna go and dive into your stuff, Bobby. So what do you want to know? What's your question, my love? Do you want to get some guidance on sticking around at the job? Like, what's the situation? Where are you? Let me know. We'll see what we can do. Yeah, they can be. It's part of the design flaws of being human. Sometimes we can just be horrible people. Seriously. But yeah, Bobby, let me know what the actual sort of like question is that you'd like me to dive into, and I'll unpack it for you. Anything that comes up. Okay. Anything coming up for Bobby? What do you guys think that Bobby needs to know? Like, in terms of where he's at right now in the journey that he's kind of like navigating. As clearly as you can. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh, Bobby. Yeah, so what they're showing me, the cards, I'm not gonna lie, that the cards that we have, the cards that we have on the situation, I don't, and it's so funny because even if we're all going through like shifts at the minute, right? Preparing for our 2023 self, that's what's happening at the minute, because God's really going to be doing the most in 2023 to lead up to the events of 2025, right? Because there's like a massive shift that's going to take place as far as like globally 2025. But with this dynamic that I'm seeing on the cards, it's almost like, can you withstand being there mentally? And I'm asking this question because presently where you are, we've got like the 9 of Swords in reverse, which means that it's not even like, it's not just general mental restlessness. It's like to the point of torment. Like that's what it feels like, mental torment. And it almost feels like it doesn't feel good. Like it doesn't feel good being in the space. Okay. I don't think it's going to get any easier. I'm going to say that much to you, Bobby. Okay. I like that. So I needed to know that. That's good to know, because it is going to be a fight. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. And it's so funny because we've got the Chariot. I will say this much. We do have the Chariot, which lets me know that like you're determined to kind of like navigate through the situation that you're kind of like going through at the minute. Here's what I'm going to say with the situation, right? I know a lot of the times it can feel disheartening when we're dealing with certain situations, but we're not dealing with people. We're dealing with dark forces and spirits and principalities in high places, essentially, right? So you got to sometimes fight with fire. What do I mean by that? Some of these forces that are coming, I guess, for you, that are infiltrating you through these hosts that they have, these beings that are vibrating on these frequencies that are vibrational match, so that they can manifest through them. Tackle those things. So speak on those things. I get the sense that you're very powerful. You're very mentally resilient, and I think that you'll find. I'm going to give you a little thing to do. Do this for the next 21 days as you kind of like navigate. So this would be literally towards till the end of September. Setting the scope going into your October period, because it takes about 21 days to kind of like unlearn or break out of a particular sort of like pattern. What I'd say is, before you go to work in the mornings, send the energy to the people that you know are culprits for these types of spirits. Like, send the energy. And what do I mean by that? So and it's not an energy of war. Let me make this very clear, right? It's not an energy of war, because you're not fighting these people. They're fighting themselves. They just so happen to be projecting the energy at you. So you are returning rightfully what is theirs to send up. Right. So do this in the morning. Spend about 3 to 5 minutes to take the time to return the energy, any energy that's vibrating at a low frequency, that's premeditated, coming into your orbit. shield of protection. Take the time. I don't know if you're into this type of stuff, but seriously, like, you'll find that it will really help to shift the battle that you're navigating through, because basically what it does is take the focus off you, and a lot of these people will be forced to go back to dealing with these issues internally, because that's really where they exist, right? And they may obviously have to find a new opponent, if you will, to deal with, because it's not really your issue. So yeah, do that for about 21 days. So it's kind of like scripting your day. First thing in the morning. First thing in the morning. Even maybe if you don't like find the time or get the time to do it before you sort of like, go to work or whatever. Definitely, even on the days where you're not sort of like working, it's definitely worth continuing to sort of like put the script out there, because a lot of the times energy takes a while to kind of like, it lingers before it kind of like manifests and stuff. So out of sight doesn't necessarily mean out of mind. You may still be in the back of their subconscious mind, and they may still be sending you negative energy and thoughts, even on days where you're not actually physically at work. So try the scripting process for a little bit, like mental scripting, visualizing, setting it right within the energy field as well. Make sure that your heart actually like really, really feel what it is that you're visualizing, and like let that hard drive sink down into your heart drive, so that your heart, because it's one of the most like powerful tools of manifestation. Journaling does help. Journaling definitely helps. So when you journal as well, write your journal. So great to have like your normal journal, right? For the stuff where you're kind of like, documenting what's kind of like transpired and stuff. If you want to, you can, for like the whole sort of like 21 days process, but you don't necessarily have to like physically write it down. You can do mental visualizations for the scripting. I would definitely recommend doing it on all layers. So emotional, when I said the visualizing and then letting it sink down into the heart space, that would be layers 1 and 2, right? And then with the journaling, that's one of the first ways that your new reality is like manifesting into 3D. So I would write it down, how you would actually like for it to happen, and how you see them actually sort of like playing out after what you've kind of like done with your little mental mind magic, and kind of like scripting and writing it down. So if they're already like open to being hosts, why not be a force for good, right? Why not cast them in the role of extras in Bobby's movie? And I guess give them whatever scenes you feel like they are necessary to be able to sort of like fill those shoes, right? Yeah, I think that's what I'd sort of like recommend with that situation. I'm going to say this. I think that there is a turning around situation, but I think it's going to take like a full-on fight, energetically speaking, right? I do feel like you're going to go through a recovery period with the situation. I don't feel like it's going to be like literally like overnight like that. I do see like maybe towards like the last 2 weeks of this year, where you start to see like the effects of that actually like playing out for you. Okay. But continue to sort of like put your energy out there, and put those good sort of like intentions into what it is that you're creating for your day, and see how things shift. You'll see like small degrees, like small degrees each and every single time. You'll notice something that, when again, I say small, but it can also be big shifts as well, depending on this right here. Depends on how much like faith and belief you have about what it is that you're manifesting for your day in that day, right? And you'll see like little turnarounds slowly happening with the situation. Okay. I hope that was useful for you, Bobby, because I do think that things are going to sort of like pick up. It's just going to be a little bit of a process to do so. And you're going to be doing some shadow boxing in the meantime, boxing with some other people's shadows in the meantime, I guess. So yeah. Okay, I hope that was useful for you though. Yeah, it seems like things are going to move slowly but surely. Okay. Yeah. Right, guys. So my list actually closed a while ago. I just have to put that out there. Thank you, Chaylee. I appreciate you guys sort of like stopping in and everything. The list actually closed a while ago. It's like after midnight now. I am gonna sort of go and get off to bed. I think situation with the supervisor, that's still going through like a shift. It's still going through like a turning point. Just so that you should do something nice with. I'm actually just going to be doing like a pamper day for myself tomorrow. So you're right on cue with that, Shaylee. I appreciate that. Thank you for the validation and confirmation that that is definitely supported by the guides. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, Lucky Empress. I'm sorry. Tune in next week. I'll be live again. I've been here for quite some time, man, y'all. I've literally been here for a good couple of hours. With the supervisor thing, you guys are going through a little bit of a turning point right now. I think that the tension that you guys are kind of like navigating through at the minute, that's going to go through a complete breakdown in communication before you guys can kind of like get back up to a better place. Okay. I know that you've been waiting. I know that you've been waiting, Murdo. And I think I said to you, I'll try and sort of like see if I can fit you in at the end before I sort of like go. Your question's pretty direct as well. I think you are hi. I liked how new. What do they think of this long black pretty hair look? I visualize that I'm going to use for subliminals. The sound on YouTube to change my face, body, hair, etc. I don't get the question. I don't fully get the question. So yeah, I don't know. But thank you, I guess. Thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. I know that you're at work and you're kind of like trying to sort of like navigate through juggling everything. But things are going to sort of like shift with the supervisor. It just kind of has to blow up first. And then it will get back to like a flatline tone. Okay. I am going to love you guys and kind of like leave the space. I didn't necessarily pick up anything per se. I think one of them likes you back because I think in the thingy you said you like two. Was there two ladies that you mentioned in the space that you liked? I think there was two, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at the thing. I am seeing that there's a lady that has a curiosity. I don't know if there's like full on like just yet, but I think she finds you. Yeah, I think there's one lady out of the two that finds you to be a little bit mysterious, and she's intrigued. She's intrigued. Yeah. The other one, I don't know that you're entirely on her radar. I'll be honest. The other one, I don't know that you're entirely on her radar, but one of them, yeah, she's got some curiosity. Okay. On that note, y'all, I didn't quite get your question as well, Miridol. I don't know what it is that you were actually trying to ask. Say I did read the question again, but I still didn't get it. Sometimes my brain doesn't compute. Dyslexia is quite the bitch, man. But yeah, I couldn't quite get it. I'll be back, Obi. I'll be back next Friday. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not back next Friday. Do you know what? Do you know what, guys? Right? I'm going to be nice and finish up with you two. Do you know why? Because I'm actually not going to be here for a couple of weeks. I'm having surgery. So I'm not going to be here for a couple of weeks. I don't know when I'm going to be able to actually like come back into the space and do this for you guys. So I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice and leave like one deck out and work with that and see what I can do. Yeah, I love it here too. I love it here too. But yeah, we'll be back after we'll be back after the recovery period. I'm hoping only to be done for a couple of weeks, but I think whilst I'm in this space, I'm gonna just give you guys a little something quickly, and then leave you guys for the night because I don't know when I'm gonna see you guys again. I hope to in the next couple of weeks, but you guys know how it is. Like, ultimately, what spirit says it is what it actually is. Throw a little question out there. I didn't get Mirador's question, so if you want, throw your question out there, Ob Mirador, if you want to reconstruct your question, because I don't think I got it. If you're still here, I don't know why I'm not computing it. It still feels abstract in my mind, so I don't know. It still feels like an abstract thought. Yeah, but I'd like. What do they think of this long black pretty hair look? I visualize that I'm going to use 4 subliminals. The sound on beauty to change my face, body and hair. I don't get it. Still didn't get it. I still didn't get it. I'm sorry. I still didn't get it. What are the last decisions of SA about our relationship? I start to drop my arms about fighting for her. I need to make a big choice about if I will never go far than a love relationship. Okay, so the question is, what are the last decisions of SA about their relationship? Okay. There's anxiety about what that means for the friendship. Yeah. I just focus on the question because I'm like losing other stuff. This is what happens after I do like lots and lots of reading. My channels become weaker and weaker and weaker. This is why I kind of like stop after a certain period of time, because my body, my human, then starts to let me know. It's like, girl, I'm struggling. But no, what I'm seeing with the situation is that they're anxious about what this actually means for our friendship, for you guys' friendship as well. How could I tell you which one? How could I tell which one is intrigued with me? Describe both of them to me. I did make the Cashapp. Bobby. It's Counsciously Yeah, you inspired that actually. I was like, yeah, he's like the umpteenth person to ask. Let me like go and create a Cashapp. I did. It's Consciously Connected. It's on the screen there. I did see a particular silhouette. So if you describe them to me, I'll be able to tell you which one. So yeah, like if you describe their physical appearance to me, I'll be able to tell you which one, basically. Because I was seeing the silhouette of the one that is like her curiosity's peaked. I think to answer your question, Obi, I think that because of where things are at the minute, like her focus is on the friendship, right? Because I think she genuinely, like, you guys have you know, I guess a good connection, like as friends. And I think that there's been some disappointments to the romantic side of things. Or she needs to balance options. No. We're going off on tangents here, Obi. Hold on. Let me explain. So when I say that she's anxious about like the friendship situation, is like she's anxious about celebrating. Okay, the other one. Sorry, I'm talking to Bobby. I'm multitasking, guys. Sorry, I'm like taking mental notes. I'm like holding on to the file of like the silhouette until I get Bobby's stuff so I can like give some clarity. Yeah, so with the situation, it's like they are cautious about celebrating just yet. They're cautious about celebrating. Um, the other is really thick and has A's pretty small, whereas weave. Okay. First one. And I'll tell you what it was with that as well. I saw what color is the hair? What color is the hair? First one. I was seeing kind of like it wasn't like dark black. It was more kind of like I want to say like a light brunette type of like color. I don't know how to explain it. So let me know. Let me know. First one, what color is the hair? Because that she had that kind of silhouette basically. She was more slim thick though. Slim thick is the best way that I put that one. Not real thick, but she's slim thick. So yeah, back to you, Obi. They don't necessarily want to celebrate the situation just yet because they're scared about losing the friendship as well, and they're pondering on whether or not like if this ultimately is the end per se, like what does that mean for the friendship? So I think that they're still in the place where they're anxious about where you guys are right now, and they don't know necessarily like what it actually means. My ears are burning because they're like constantly like there's so many thoughts that they're kind of like going through and navigating the situation. And okay, one has red or black, the other is black. Okay. Oh, red and black. Did you say one has red and black? She does need more clarity. She does need more clarity. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Bobby's thing. Why is that a face palm emoji? Why is that face palm emoji? Did it not end well? No, I wouldn't say it was like completely blonde hair. It was just kind of like a lighter sort of like hair. Yeah, it was kind of like a light. The silhouette that I saw though, she was more sort of like the tall person that you mentioned. I think the other one, I'll put it to you like this. I feel like the other one's a little bit she's a little bit superficial. I'll use that word. She's a little bit superficial. So I think that in all honesty, I think you might be too good for her. And what do I mean by that? Okay. Her picker for men, you wouldn't be her picker for men. She likes him with a tint of asshole. That's the best way that I can put it, just a smidge. She doesn't like to admit that, but that's one of the things that I guess like gets her going. She's just a little toxic, just a smidge. Miss the second one. So that's what that is as far as like the dynamic there. But the first one, I think that she has some like, she's curious. She's curious. And she has some like, you know, there's intrigue there, right? What did you say, OB? So at now, do you feel she is talking with somebody else by preference? It make one day since she did not answer me. I don't necessarily think that she's speaking to anyone else seriously or anything like that. I think she was just tired of the way that things were kind of playing out with you guys. And I think with that, she's just kind of like withdrawn her energy for the most part. I do feel like, let me have a look. What do you see as far as like communication? Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, there'll be delayed communication. I don't think that she's in any rush to kind of like get back to you. Like I said, I feel like she's emotionally exhausted and drained in navigating through the situation. So there's definitely going to be some delays. And I think for her, like the fear of the unknown situation and not necessarily planning for like this breakup situation, because it feels like it was like an abrupt situation that just kind of like happened impulsively. So yeah, I think she's going to have to go through the process of processing that, and then she'll be able to sort of like get to some clarity. I do think that there's a holding off initially. Yeah. It might take up to a week for you guys to really sort of like get back into communication of any sort. Okay. I prefer we take a break on our conversation. She told me thanks. Yeah. 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 I think it's one of those situations where for both of you guys, like this space, this downtime is needed. It's necessary. Okay. Give it about a week or so, maybe up to 10 days, 7 to 10 days is what I'm hearing. Might be enough breathing space for you guys to be able to give it 7 to 10 days. Give it 7 to 10 days. Right now, there isn't really room for that. She's kind of processing her own stuff right now. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to officially sort of like sign out and get my ass to bed because it's almost 1 a.m. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you for sort of coming and hanging out with me today. And I will see you guys once I am back in rotation, whenever that is. Who knows? Okay, because at this point, God is in control of all of that. Right? But I'm sending you guys much love as always. Hopefully, I'll see you guys on the next side of surgery. And we can dive back into chopping it up like usual. Okay, loves. We'll put on the little signing out tune and close out the space, y'all.
All the things they said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head and tend to keep her mind at war. All the things they said to hold her back, they keep her locked inside of all the times when she's been hurt before.
That's it, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'm sending you guys so much love. Have an awesome Mercury retrograde and Libra transit, because I'm sure it's going to be interesting in terms of relationships. And that's also another thing as well, Obi. Mercury's in retrograde in like our romance class at the minute. So we're learning how to communicate better in romance. Okay? Good luck with that. I'm sending you guys much love. It's all right, guys. You take care. Enjoy.